Aloha everyone, my name is Aaron Vincent. I was given the article A Tale of Two Schools by Larry Cuban. So to start off with a little bit about the author. He's a professor of education at Stanford. He also took time to teach in California. He has been a principal and a superintendent of different school districts. He also held various other positions inside those school districts, but those were the two most interesting to me. His major contributions to the educational field is his studies in urban education and his perspective of school curricula. Basically, he's done a lot of studies on different schools' way of teaching and different curriculum behind those teaching, and he's compiled it together. In all of his studies, he believes that all schools have advantages and disadvantages behind the way that they're teaching, and in this article, he spent most of his time talking about two different types of schools. The two different types in today's discussions, the most common two are traditionalist versus progressive. A traditional school is concentrated mainly on passing the best knowledge, skills, and values in society on to the student. That's the way they believe it. And a progressive school focuses more on the student's personal and social development rather than just the knowledge getting passed on. So the purpose of public schools, this is all public schools, is to help the students grow into literate adults. So we want them to be able to make educated decisions, be able to speak their mind, and be able to learn. Able to make reasonable decisions. Basically, we don't want them to go out there and make on-the-fly decision of this is what I'm going to do because this is why, just because. We want them to actually know why they're making the decision that they're making. We want them to be able to accept different opinions. So when they do get confronted with people who think differently than them, they don't get in this heated argument with them. Instead, they're actually able to discuss what they know in a reasonable way and be able to actually learn one from another. And to make sure the kids actually respect the authorities. So make sure they are willing to obey the law and they know why. Other responsibilities to the schools have been added over time based on different curricula, but these are the four basic ones. Sum them up, we want students to grow into people who can make educated decisions. So we want them to be able to hear different opinions and make a good decision. In traditional schools, the way that they teach, it is more the teachers set the boundaries of what the students learn. So the teachers say, this is what we're learning today, and that's what's taught that day, and that's what's learned. Students don't really have a say in it, they learn what's being told. The rules that the teacher set are also basically law in the school. They are accepted by consent of the parents, but again, what the teacher says is what goes. And the teachers also have the ability to set the limit on the students' freedom while allowing them to encounter learning. So the teachers, while they give the students different projects to work on, they tell them how they're able to do it, and then they let them do it. But the students, if they're told to do it one way, that's what they have to do, and there's no arguing it. Younger generations, basis of the traditional, like I said earlier, the younger generations learn what the previous generation found important. So it's basically if the parents or the teachers found something very important, that's what the students learn, and that's the way it goes. In a progressive school, on the other hand, it's slightly different. The emphasis is placed on the children's individual freedom and the individual's freedom to create. I apologize. So it's more so that the students can learn what they find interesting. Also, it allows the students to work at their own pace. So it's not the teacher doesn't come in. You have to learn this by the end of the day. However, it's more of a we come in, and if one student's learning faster, he goes faster. If the student's learning slower, he goes slower. So it's much more student friendly, you could say. Respect for the students do have a respect for the teacher's authority, but they're able to question it. So say the teacher comes in one day and says, we're going to learn about the Civil War. The students have the ability to ask, why do we have to know this? What is this? What's the purpose of learning this? The teachers can then either answer the question or they can choose not to. Normally the teachers will answer the question, but it is up to them. And the respect for authority in the progressive schools come from self-discipline and extend, but not a complete. Apologize again. The respect for authority comes from self-discipline extended by not having complete freedom. Basically, the students learn to respect authority because they've learned that what authority says is there to help them because they've learned from mistakes. To wrap it up, all these two different schools have two different ways of teaching, but they're both good. They both have their own reasons for being good, and they both help the students in different ways. The main reason these schools are both can be called good is that they have stable staffs committed to the core beliefs about what is best for the students and the community, meaning these students are learning what's best. The teachers aren't in there trying to make them terrible human beings. They're there to make them the best. And also that the parents' beliefs mirror those of the staff. So then we're working together with the parents to become the best people we could be. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you all enjoyed.